2nd, 2021. So good to be with you. I am 65 years young today and looking for my vaccine shot. I get to go out with the huddled masses of America and go from CVS to hospital to Disneyland. I guess they've got a big place there. They've got a system in Southern California that's a magic box. You put your information into it, and then they tell you where to show up, but then everyone tells me the magic box doesn't work. So I'll be spending the rest of the day looking for a vaccine. Good Monday to you. I hope you had a great weekend. Good news on the virus front. Very, very, very good news on the virus front. Here in the United States, we have now got 63 million vaccines administered. At least 43,628,000 people have got one. There's quite a lot of resistance and immunity that is conferred with one, if not immunity, at least the ability not to get that sick when it does hit you a second time. And in Great Britain, where they're ahead of us on the curve like Israel, they've announced a 4-month transition back to normalcy, the long-awaited reopening roadmap. And they are going to open schools on March 8th. Every school in every part of the country, in every grade. And all school sports will be back in a week. So I'd like to suggest to you, if they can do it in Great Britain, can't we do it in the United States? In the New York Times, on the post-pandemic horizon, could that be a boom? Signs of economic life are picking up. Mounds of cash are waiting to be spent as the virus loosens its grip. Indeed, there's a very funny editorial in the Wall Street Journal today about the money supply and how it is enormous. The largest money supply since 1943. Since February 2020, 1 year ago, the M2 supply has increased 26%, according to the Journal. That's the largest one-year jump since 1943, and they show the Stay Puft Man in green walking through New York. You ever watched Ghostbusters? The White House is backing away from its ridiculous stance on not opening schools because they're getting hammered. Other stories of interest: China's state broadcasters applied to France for the right to air in Europe after they got thrown off the air in Great Britain. The answer should be no, and the explanation should be genocide. Saturday Night Live is under fire for the first time in the Biden era for a quote joke. Michael Shea said this, cut number 10.
Israel is reporting that they vaccinated half of their population, and I'm going to guess it's the Jewish half.
You see, that's not anti-Semitic at all, is it? That's completely anti-Semitic. And, I just can't believe, I don't know who writes the jokes. The weekend news people usually write their own stuff, but we don't know for sure. But a whole bunch of producers and associate producers and management saw the script. None of them knew that's anti-Semitic. What is wrong at Saturday Night Live? Fred Hyatt, a colleague and titular boss at the Washington Post, has written a great opinion piece. If it will put this man in jail, China will stop at nothing. It talks about Martin Lee, who's persecuted by China, and he's right. Fred is right. China will stop at nothing. And then a famous black hole gets a massive update. This is something I've been studying a long time. Cygnus X1 is much weightier than expected. So I want you to think about that. Now, I've got a piece, my birthday piece, in the Post this morning. It's in the print edition and online. Begins WWTLD. What would Ted Lasso do? And some of you aren't going to agree with this, so you can call it 1-800-520-1234. What would Ted Lasso do with Neera Tanden's nomination to become director of the Office of Management and Budget? Apple TV's first big hit has attracted fans because of a rare, in these times, combination of earnest aw-shucks dialogue and relentless good cheer. No spoilers here, but Lasso is Major League meets Bend It Like Beckham, and it's become an unexpected smash hit because it is anchored in, wait for it, forgiveness. Millions are clapping. They may not know why, but it is because forgiveness is inspiring. Almost everyone gets dealt mercy by Ted Lasso, deserved or not. Neera Tanden, head of the Liberal Center for American Progress, is a lawyer, activist, former senior Hillary Clinton aide, ubiquitous presence on cable television and Twitter. Because Tanden is smart, funny, and quick, she's capable of leaving a mark, I write. And I know I have more Tanden-inflicted scars than all the villains in all the Zorro movies and television series combined. She has displayed the same cutting ruthlessness, I write, on Twitter as she has on cable TV sets, which is to be expected. She's a serious left liberal, though not as far to the left as Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont, so she's left some mark on Team Sanders as well. She should also be confirmed as OMB director. All political people, especially senators, should live with the same rules of political debate as the rest of us. They should not get to use their confirmation powers to protect themselves from online criticism, however hurtful. Everyone draws the line at threats. But Tanden has just been clobbering people the old-fashioned way with words. By 19th century standards, actually, she's pretty tame. More to the point, it's the 21st century. Online and television and radio barbs are part of freedom's fray, which brings us back to Ted Lasso and the Constitution. Lasso's an old American football coach hired to lead a mediocre British soccer team, and he embodies a cross-section of old-school virtues and out-of-place witticisms in this postmodern world. The success of the show is an argument that more Lassoian temperament would serve us all well, including don't take yourself so seriously. Now, Tanden's decidedly non-toned-down past has put her nomination in peril. Senator Joe Manchin, who's a Democrat, announced Friday he would not support Tanden, citing her overtly partisan statements and consequent toxic and detrimental impact on her ability to work with Congress. Tanden has apologized for her tart language. Senators, not just Manchin, but also Republicans, should accept that and move forward. Confirm her. It would be one thing if she were being nominated for a lifetime appointment for the federal bench. Then the higher standard applies, and judicial temperament is part of the equation there. But that test doesn't apply to executive branch officials. Presidents are entitled to great deference in how they assemble their cabinet. Now, Trump didn't get that, but we ought to get it back. New presidents who have 4 years to succeed deserve their team in place. Absent some disqualifying personal flaw, and I'm thinking of addiction here. There are exceptions to every rule, but mean tweets doesn't even come close. It's especially true of the Office of Management and Budget, which is almost an extension of the president's staff. Now, you might have a different rule for Secretary of State, Defense, and Justice, but OMB is basically on the right hand of the president and deals with them all day long. Now, if we disqualify everyone who's done mean tweets, the most effective of the pugilists online is going to rebound against both parties. The younger generation is full of Twitter addicts who approach debate like the locker room on Ted Lasso's AFC Richmond. So senators should remember there will be another GOP precedent, and they will want that president to get their nominees.